Okay, so we are going to be talking today about the famous movie Smile.
The movie with the most promo I have ever seen in my whole life.
The most promo that Paramount and any other production company has ever put towards promoting a movie.
I mean, the effort that they went to make sure everyone's asses ran to the movie
And I
theater.
can't lie, it kind of worked because
It
I was
did.
not planning on seeing Smile.
I was not planning on seeing it, but
That was not on my list of.
honestly, the reason why I did see it, guilty, but TikTok, you were really the ones.
Yeah. Obviously, it really wasn't the promo, but
Yeah.
that did get the
But I
people.
feel like people's promos or people's reviews on TikTok were kind of like promos almost because it
Okay,
was very
to
dramatic.
me, Paramount's promo got those people to see the movie, and then those people said it was so fucking scary
But do
that
you
then we
think
saw it.
that some of those people were paid by Paramount?
That's what they said, right? Didn't someone say that in like the comments?
Some people are like, yeah, they had to have gotten paid because
'Cause they're all
nah.
saying the same thing.
Yeah, and that like people in the comments in some videos are saying it's like not that scary that everyone's being really dramatic about it, which
Okay, I will say, watching it, I didn't think it was that scary. It has a little bit of an after effect, just not like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
like you're gonna be thinking about
You're
it,
thinking about it. You're thinking about
but
shit lingering around.
it's a linger, but it's not scary. There were like a few jump scares, but like
They got you. Those jump scares got you, bitch.
two
Two
of
of them.
them,
Two
two,
of them.
two,
Yeah, I saw you jump
two
right to that
definitely
ceiling.
got me really good. But that's like jump scares to me are not scary. It's just like
I agree.
it's just a jump scare, and like
It
that's
is.
just it. It's not actually scary.
Yeah, true horror is. I mean, how do you even describe true horror?
It's like getting into your brain and
Yeah,
infecting it.
and you're like think you it can't get out. Like
Yeah,
you've been poisoned by this movie.
for sure.
Which I said it had a drop of poison. It doesn't have hereditary level poison
Right.
at all, but
Yeah. I mean, we'll
I've
get
been
into
seeing
like,
smiley faces everywhere since leaving.
yeah. I mean, I think that's like a psychological thing because all of them have been there. It's just now you notice. But
Yeah.
okay. So I'm not going to say that we should review like ourselves, like the percentages that we would give it or like the ratings yet until like the end because I feel like we should talk about it first to get a well-rounded opinion.
Are you sure? Because we can say our original and we can maybe change it at the end.
Okay. Let me just say what the ratings are online for the different review places.
Okay.
So on IMDb, it got a 6.9 out of 10, a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 68% on Metacritic, and 83% of people like this movie on
I would
Google.
be closest to Metacritic, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
That's a little bit
I would
overrated.
honestly, okay, and we can change it later, but I would give it like a 4 out of 10.
Whoa. Okay. I would give it
Maybe
only
a
because
5.
we gave Barbarian like a 4 out
Yeah.
of 10, I think.
But on Barbarian, we like really
We hated
we
that.
hate it and we could have honestly gone lower. Like,
That should have got a 1 out of 10, to be fair. But
yeah, to be fair, we were
we were
not in
being
our right
generous.
minds,
Yeah.
clearly,
That really had to settle in to
hmm
realize that was
how
really
bad
bad.
it was.
That was weird as fuck. But I would give it I'd give it a 5.
Okay.
Mhm. I
That's fair. I
would.
mean, that's close. I would probably give it, yeah, like a 4 to a 5
I will
as
say,
of now.
okay, the reason I say that is the beginning, the first, like, I don't know, the intro till whatever it said, Paramount presents, yada yada. I was like, this movie is like not great. Like it just doesn't look like it's gonna
Yeah.
get that good.
hmm
But it didn't it wasn't that bad to sit through.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't like you're ready to leave the theater. You're gonna walk out. It's just
Like you're just waiting for this to end. Usually, if a movie's really bad, you don't care how this ends. Like you don't even care anymore. You're just like,
yeah.
I can't wait for this to end so I can go home. I really want to know, are they going to like what are they gonna do? Like what's this bitch gonna
Yeah.
do about this situation?
I really expected her to find a way to get out, but
For sure. And I thought that's what made it a little bit better. A little bit.
yeah.
Because she didn't. And you're if you can predict a movie,
Mhm.
that movie should have, if it was really predictable, she should have figured out this amazing way, end the curse,
Mhm.
move on with her life
Right.
as a powerful, independent woman.
Yeah, and you think she almost does.
Yeah.
You really
And
do.
whenever she left, when she first set her mom on fire and
It
she
was not
goes,
her mom.
yeah,
It
the
was
monster mom, the ghost mom
which
in her
I
head.
have a bone to pick with that, but go on.
And she goes to her freaky ex boyfriend's house.
Mhm.
At first, I was like, that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. How
Yeah.
did that kill? That
I
fire?
was really like I knew that it wasn't going to be over. I just didn't really like expect her to be in a full delusion where she's still at that house.
Oh yeah, I
But
mean,
like
me neither.
I did expect it to definitely not be over. Like that would have just been so dumb. If it was, like that would be
Well, I
horrible,
thought it was
but
gonna be a dumb movie, so I was
yeah.
expecting it to be like, oh, she killed it. But I thought that was usually if they have, oh, she killed it in one, they have a big kind
Yeah,
of
it felt like
killing
it was
scene.
not as big of a moment as
It should have
it
been.
would have been if it was over. Over. So that's why I was expecting it to not be done, but um anyways, the director is Parker Finn.
What else does Parker do?
Let's
Anything I
see.
know?
He does no. Like I don't think anything. It just has 3 movies for him and it is Laura Hasn't Slept and The Hide Behind. Never heard of either of those. Those are clearly horror, but never heard of them. So I
Oh.
don't know if that matters or not. I mean, he's okay from what I saw. Like just real basic, a real basic like Halloween
Yeah,
era movie
I
like
will say for a Halloween movie,
right.
sure, that's the category it belongs in.
Yeah.
Does it belong in the A24 elevated horror?
Yeah,
No, like
absolutely
that's a
not. It's
different
definitely for
beast.
like teenagers or something. Like it feels like
Yeah, the
teenagers in high
teenagers
school.
liked it.
Yeah.
Like all the teenagers in our theater, at least, they
Yeah,
were
there were lots of
scared and
people talking and doing the
yeah,
most.
it
So
did
it
its
was
job for a Halloween. Halloween movies are bad.
yeah,
They're bad movies
they
typically.
just are. And like that's just it. But yeah, so I do have a bone to pick with that the entity or whatever you want to call it that is like haunting everybody.
Okay, pick it.
It to me it was kind of giving barbarian, like not as
Gave
bad,
Barbarian to me too.
but like I just hate the monster thing. Like it's so lame, it's so overdone, like it's boring. It's not scary. Like okay, yeah, in real life if that happened it would be scary, but it's just not realistic. So it's not like if you really want to scare me, you have to scare me with something that's realistic that like can really happen. And just knowing that you know what I'm saying? It's just
Well,
kind of
the thing
lame.
is, usually they can, well, not usually, but every now and then they can do creatures. Pause. I'm gonna pause it, and we can continue. Uh, what were we saying?
You said that monsters
Oh
can
yeah,
be done well.
sometimes they can be done well. And I'm trying to think of an example.
Like
Usually they're
Stranger
done
Things or
best if
something?
they're Stranger Things is not bad. Usually they're done best if they're somewhat demonic of sorts
Yeah,
because
for
it can
sure.
ground you in some sort of reality.
Mhm.
But you know that movie, that sex horror movie that you saw, I didn't? It Follows, I think.
Okay, yeah.
There's like clips I've seen of it where it's not like really jump scares, but there's like a big tall man that just pops out of fucking nowhere. You know what I'm
Ugh,
talking about?
like, honestly, I really can't speak on that movie. Like, I was just not
You weren't present.
I wasn't present, and, like, I just could not say I did not like that movie at all. I know, like, a lot of people are fans of that movie. Not for me. I did not care for it. I don't think I'll ever care for it because it was like the thing jumped from person to person through sex or something.
This isn't that different. This is through trauma.
Yeah, I know. And I didn't really like this one either. I mean, this one was just like a little bit more serious. The other one was, really like it was
My
really
whole point,
teenager.
not really comparing the movies, just that
Mm.
if you're gonna do a creature, sometimes you can really fucking scare me. Even if it's like not, I don't know. I mean,
Creatures
I
are
don't
just
know.
so
As an
hard to like
adult, I
scare
don't
me.
know if a creature can scare me.
Yeah.
As a kid, Jeepers Creepers, etc., you're
Yeah.
gonna have me fucked up.
But I think that like those old movies that had that, I don't think they're great at all, but I think that the old like it's really just I think that
Different
they
or
use like
something.
actual people
And
as
that's the
them,
thing, is you can see the people underneath the
and like the
makeup.
CGI just is not going to do anything for me,
Yeah.
you know?
It's so fake. It's
Yeah,
just so fucking
it's just not
fake.
believable. And the deaths were pretty, you know, pretty scary. I mean, I
They
think
were
that,
gross or gruesome.
yeah, they were pretty gruesome. And I think that, sure, like, I know everybody's been saying, like, this movie should have trigger warnings. It should have trigger warnings. Like, I get it, but I don't. Like,
Yeah, what do they mean?
they
Who are
mean
they protecting?
people who have mental health disorders like schizophrenia or different disorders that people gaslight them
Oh,
into
okay.
thinking,
I can kind of see
yeah,
that.
like I get it, but
Because it is kind of based around a almost gaslighting
yeah.
experience.
And like how nobody believed her, or like she was almost like a burden
Hmm.
because she was
And
so messed up.
everyone left her
Yeah.
because she was out of her mind,
Mhm.
whether it was her in a relationship or her family,
Right.
and she really
She was
wasn't
really like
crazy.
misunderstood.
Yeah, it was sad. I did
So,
feel bad for her.
yeah. I definitely feel bad for her, but
Yeah. I
the
mean,
cat scene was so I knew it was coming. I
I
definitely told
knew
you.
actually when you said, he's gonna open up this present and be like, what the fuck? I knew
Yeah.
then it was gonna be the cat for sure.
I didn't know that it was going to be the cat. I just, and that makes sense. I could have honestly thought about that. I just knew it was going to be something bad. But yeah, that was really sad. And when she grabbed her cat and she was
I
holding it,
know. That was sad.
it was really
It
sad.
gave Rhaenyra's stillbirth holding
Yeah.
her baby.
It it was really sad. Cuz and then
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen
oh, House of
House of the
Dragon.
Dragon season finale.
Yeah.
I know I said spoiler after, so hopefully you've just
Hopefully
seen it.
you've just seen it or you don't give a fuck. But yeah, it was sad, and like just the fact that everybody thought she killed it. Like, I mean, just being a
And
pet
then gave
parent.
it to Jackson.
Yeah, and just being a pet parent, that's an unbelievable like
It was sad.
pain.
It was seriously sad. It was really sad.
Mhm.
Especially, it was really how she was holding it.
I know. Like
It
she
was,
grabbed it like a baby. Like,
yeah,
ugh.
as if it wasn't like almost dead. Like it
Yeah.
was way too quick
Mhm.
that she hadn't processed it at all.
Yeah. That
Like
was
trying to
really
comfort it
real.
almost.
Like, so okay. I want to talk about okay, the girl, the main lady.
The main hoe in the
Yeah, the
show, in
main
the movie.
actor, she's pretty good. Like
Yeah, she kind of
she
shocked me.
she was pretty good. I don't know what else she's in. I feel like I've seen her before, but I have no clue. But I want to say her little fiance. I don't know if this man is like just as really good at playing like an asshole, but I don't know. I was really feeling that acting. I
Um,
was like not
it
believing it
felt
or
like
something.
actually all of the men dropped
Yeah.
the bag. That like she really what weight she could hold of that movie, she really held the
Oh
whole
my
thing.
God. Do you know what's so interesting? I clicked on her name
Hmm.
and her father is Kevin Bacon. She kind of looks like him. Okay, she was in 13 Reasons Why.
Oh my,
The
as a
teacher?
kid, the teacher? What are you talking about?
Okay, I don't know.
Wait,
Okay,
what teacher? What are
I
you
don't
talking
know.
about?
Wasn't she like a teacher?
I thought she
Okay,
was
I've
like
only
the
watched one season of that.
13-year-old. Wait, 13 Reasons Why? I thought you meant 13 going on 30.
Okay, no, no, no. No, no,
Do you
no.
know what I meant?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay.
I know. She was in 13 Reasons Why, Mayor of
No,
Easttown?
it's East Town. Yeah.
Oh my God, I think I have a Mandela effect with that.
No.
Whatever.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, she's in a lot. Honestly, like Narcos, she does like a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, if she's the daughter
She was
of
in Scream.
a major actor, you know?
Yeah, but respect that she did a good role because that could have really been cheesy if she was not a good actor. She didn't do good acting in it.
Yeah, and remember we were first seeing the trailers for this movie, and I told you what's making it look bad is that the cast is nobodies. I don't know
Right.
anybody in here. Usually, if a movie is good, it's
It's gonna have
good
a
actors.
good main character actor. Like you're gonna know.
Minimum main character
Yeah.
is going to be someone you know. But not
Hmm.
knowing any of these people, you're just assuming they didn't have the budget to hire
Right.
a major actor. But yeah, she did not do bad.
She did not do bad. She honestly is the reason why it's
Yeah, and
getting a
honestly,
4
good for
to
her
5
because
out of 10.
this I think will be her almost stepping stone to
Yeah,
getting more roles because
for
she did a
sure.
good job.
She did. I'll give her that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, overall the movie, it was all right. Like, I mean, it didn't blow me away. It didn't scare me like everyone said. I don't know if they hyped it up too much or what, but it was
One thing I did want to say, this was one of my first thoughts. Her almost this feels like a director's fault. I'm not gonna blame this bitch for it, but as a character, her reflexes felt so slow. Not like when the cat died, they were quick with that. But that girl killing herself, I don't know if it was just all that
I think it was like
trauma.
pure shock. Like
Maybe
freeze. Like
it
she
just feels like
froze.
your natural reaction would.
Be to like grab.
It's just because she cut herself so slow. She
Yeah.
started at her cheek and she was on
Mhm.
her cheek for a minute before she
Well,
got to
she
her
held
throat.
that thing. She looked down at her hand with that thing and like typically, but I think that a lot of like probably if you work in that line of something and somebody looks like they're a danger to
She was just waiting for
someone,
those people, those
you
three
have
men.
to. I think it's like illegal to, because you could get hurt because she didn't know in that moment that she was going to kill herself or if she was going to kill her. Like
For
she
sure.
was really out of her mind and she was smiling at her crazy with this thing. She could have really thought, like, this bitch is about to come for me. So,
Okay. Well, the next thing was like a scene was right after that when her alarm went off, her like house alarm.
hmm
And this bitch did not turn that off for a minute. Like she
yeah.
seriously stood there forever with her hands on her ears. And I was just like, what in the world? Like
I
go
think she
turn it
was just
off.
going through a psychosis. Like, so I think that I really have no idea, but I think it was
I'm
just showing like
nitpicking a little
how,
bit, but
yeah. And I don't think that's on her.
no, like
I
I
think
said, I
it's,
think that was a director's choice.
yeah, for sure. But I think she was like obviously like starting to really go through her psychosis.
It wasn't even a psychosis. Let's make that clear.
Yeah, it wasn't, but it was definitely like whatever. I mean, it felt like a psychosis to her because at that point she didn't know that it was like this string of things because she even went to her therapist and she was like, give me this medicine. I am having delusion. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, she did not know until, she put two and two together and went to her little cop X man who is just the savior.
Yeah. Speaking of psychiatrists, I'm really sick of all this gatekeeping. Not that this drug would have really helped her
It
since she
wouldn't
had
have.
this curse,
Yeah.
but they really are so like some bitches need shit. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
It's
I mean, I
really hard
definitely
to
think
get some
that
help out here. medication wise sometimes, you
I
know?
know, and I hate when like it's really annoying when you know what the problem is with yourself, but if you dare to say what the problem is, you're automatically self-diagnosing and you don't know what you're talking about. You're delusional. You need to just like go to therapy.
Yeah,
Like,
you're just itching for a certain drug.
right, whenever you can fully, I think not everybody, but a lot of people can sense what's wrong in themselves. I mean, unless you're really crazy, then
No, it's true because when you go to therapy, if you have a good therapist, most of the time they're not really telling you what to think or feel.
right.
They're getting it out of you. They're helping you make your own conclusions. And maybe they'll ask you questions that help you make your own conclusions,
Yeah.
but it's a pretty like, you know what I'm saying? You do it kind of by
Yeah.
yourself.
I mean, it's
But
something in
psychiatrists
your
are
own
not.
mind. So you know, typically, unless you are like really crazy, you know what's going on in your own mind.
Yeah. Anyway, what are you doing?
I am looking up this therapist
Why?
because I saw her and I was like, I feel like she played a therapist or like some other type of person and something else that, okay, maybe it's
And did
this
she?
one. She was in Big Little Lies. Dr. Amanda Reisman or something. I don't even know, but we did watch that cuz I was like I feel like I've seen this lady as like a therapist or doctor or something. So maybe that's where I know her from. But
Huh.
she played the role pretty well too. I mean, it was definitely she was not someone who was helpful, really.
She was not helpful at
I
all.
mean, she did
And if
her
this bitch was not having a curse and she was experiencing these things that she was genuinely experiencing, you need to help her with these
yeah,
paranoid delusions, which she, as a licensed
right.
therapist or whatever she was, knew.
Mhm.
She wasn't just some random who
Did
just
you
was
think it
guessing.
was funny whenever she um when she was over at her house and then the therapist called her and she realized the person in front of her was not the therapist who was that monster thing.
I didn't think it was funny. You did?
No, I thought it was funny whenever like she was backing up down the stairs and like
Hysterical.
okay,
Her
yeah.
big stomps, like right
Yeah.
over the
Right
couch.
over the couch, no problem. Like
I was
I would
laughing.
don't know how many times I would have had to do that scene to like not be falling on my ass and like look like an idiot. Like
Yeah, did they
it's
like glue that couch to the floor?
oh my god, something crazy cuz that was pretty funny. I know it wasn't supposed to be, but it was
Yeah.
funny to me. Um, but yeah.
Do you think there was like supposed to be a connect between her childhood trauma and her present trauma? Obviously, her beast at the end was her mom,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying that she watched her mom kill herself, and this whole
Well, and she
movie is
didn't
about.
technically like her mom just OD'd or maybe she did attempt to, but she said call for help and she didn't. So I think that was a trauma that was like haunting her because she was like, "No, you were horrible. I was terrified of you." That's why she didn't call for help and she let her mom die. So I don't know like I mean just clearly this bitch has major, major trauma, major mommy issues. Like,
And dad's
obviously, her sister
nowhere to
left
be
her.
found, so clearly daddy issues
Not
too.
mentioned once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, whatever. That happens.
All right, let's get back to these stupid boyfriends because
Okay, yeah. I
both of
mean,
them are
so
useless.
annoying.
Like, yeah, so annoying.
I mean, I know they really tried to make us love the cop
Oh,
boyfriend or
they
ex
really did.
boyfriend.
They
Like,
really did try.
you can try it. It's not going to work with me, buddy. It's not going to work with me. I mean, it was just so annoying, like overbearing. Like whenever she was talking to the guy in the police station,
Yeah,
he
the
was
one
like,
who had murdered.
"Yeah," and he was like, I don't want to leave." He was like, "I'll tell you, but this man's got to go." He was
I'm
like,
not going anywhere, pal.
"Yeah,
Like,
something
what?
so annoying.
Mind
Like,
yours.
fuck off."
This isn't even about you.
It's really not, and I hate when men act like that. Like there's some savior, they're here to protect you. Like,
But, maybe they were just so focused on this jabroni because he was the final. I mean, at the
yeah,
ending,
no, for
this is his
sure.
trauma now.
And like he was the only one who didn't gaslight her. I don't know. They were just really making him out to be this like, and I left you because you were breaking down my walls and I didn't like it. Or I was like uncomfortable.
Oh,
Oh, like the whole
yeah.
speech, like
But you don't say
it
that.
was just too much. Like, oh,
uh,
it was so dramatic.
it
Like,
was
and
dramatic.
it felt like it could have been left out. Like, I mean, I get it. I guess maybe not. I don't know. I just don't like that type of character in any show that I see or movie.
And her other fiance was the worst. The way she described it, anything that's not easy and
I mean, he
fitting
was
into
the
your
ultimate
perfect little
gaslighter.
world, you can't handle. And that was exactly what it was.
Yeah,
If it was not complete perfection,
right.
he could not.
And
Like, you're
I
the
told
worst
you
support ever.
a couple times, I was like, I feel like he's cheating on her. Like, he's already 1 foot out the door. He clearly didn't want to be around her. It was kind of giving like, and this is a stretch, but it was kind of giving Midsummer when like Danny was going through her thing and her man just could not be bothered. Like, could
Mhm.
not be bothered.
Yeah, I saw this meme the other day that was like, I think it said horror movie boyfriends, and it was like, you've been such a bitch since your mom died yesterday, and that like
Mm.
emoji, you know?
What emoji?
Just the like you're pissed at someone.
Okay.
And it's just really true.
Yeah.
They'll take, so like a bitch will have trauma beyond belief.
Right.
The most you can't even go there in your brain
Right.
of what this person could be experiencing right now.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're being like, oh, you're being so much
I know.
today.
And for even him to say, "Did you kill
Mustache.
Mustache?" Like,
Yeah.
how dare you? Like, you're her fiance and you wouldn't think in your head, or you would be able to let yourself think in your head that this bitch killed her cat, put in a box, and gave it to her nephew for her birthday or
And
his birthday.
even just the like, I have to tell you like what I'm experiencing. Like, seriously, listen to me. In
Mm-hmm.
your natural reaction, not to, I get like kinda listen. Like, okay, tell me what
Okay, but
you
like
think is
even if
happening.
like you were going through psychosis or like what was labeled as a psychosis because there's no explanation, kind of like what she went through, and you were saying no, like listen, trust me, I would at least listen
I
and tell
know,
you
that's
like
my
okay, I
point.
understand, like and he was just
And I think
horrible.
his response was,
Like I can't do
I'm
this.
he said something like, "I'm engaged to you. I'm like almost putting my life on you," or something like that. And I googled that this can be genetic, blah blah blah. It was just
Yeah.
so selfish. It was
It
just the
was
most
just
selfish shit ever.
yeah, it was horrible. So he sucked. The
He sucked.
sister, like, had her own issues. Like, I don't even
She
know.
did. Her life was bad too. I mean, she had the
Yeah,
same trauma in a different way. Her mom did die, dad nowhere to be found.
right.
And she is concerned that her son just got this cat. But speaking of the horrible men in this movie,
Oh,
when she
yeah, I
goes
know.
to see the sister and says,
Her,
like, hey, let me talk to her, and her sister's husband, I don't think that's a good idea. Look, you cannot,
yeah.
if someone's sibling is
And
trying to
then,
talk to another sibling, you have no right
yeah.
in any world to ever step in and say you can't talk to my wife, my husband,
I
whatever.
know. And even the sister came up and she was like,
Fuck off.
yeah, fuck off. I'm going to talk to my sister.
Like, that's so insane. Who do you think you are?
The overstepping of men
Yeah,
in
this
this
movie was an
movie,
overstepping of
like,
men.
I'm
That's what I
triggered.
saw.
Like, I'm triggered. Like, that should be the trigger warning. Like,
Yeah. Trigger warning if you're, what? Who's it
triggered by
for?
men like abusing like authority or being hyper
Like,
masculine,
super
like
entitled and selfish and
trying to be alpha male. I hate that.
Yeah. It was annoying as hell.
Yeah, but we're not gonna shit on men right now. But
Bunch of jabronis in this movie though.
yeah, so it was all right. Like, I mean, I feel like it's just a monster thing.
Here's the
It's kind of
thing
like
is
threw me
that
off.
um smiling in movies, horror in particular, has consistently throughout my life freaked me the fuck out. Really bad. Like I have seen smiling and laughing from a person who shouldn't be done so well. Hereditary, their smiles, their demonic smiles, really well done. Even in the box, remember I told you about that? That guy who just lingers and he'll smile and laugh.
Yeah, that does get you.
Scary. And the fact that you have this on a silver platter, this is what your whole movie is based on.
Yeah.
But the smiles still were not really, I don't know. They weren't freaking me out like that.
Yeah. I mean, I thought there would be more moments of it because the trailer was like all about it. Like the movies called it. Like I mean they did. They didn't overdo it. They just
Did you feel
it was
bad
all
for
right.
Carl?
Is he the mental patient? That
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Like do we even have any like my throat. Do we even have any closure from this man? Like what was his problem and like is he like
No, I mean, he's just still in the hospital, but when she thought he was smiling
yeah.
and he wasn't, and she 5150'd him,
Yeah.
and he was like, "No, the fuck? No,
Like
stop." And
yeah.
he was like sleeping. He was just sleeping,
Mhm.
minding his own.
Yeah.
That was sad. But she did get kicked out of the hospital for a week for that. So,
Yeah, she did. And the her like boss guy who's like
yeah.
what's his name?
Isn't he from like Scrubs? No.
Like
He's from
Harold and Kumar or
that
something?
White Castle. Yeah, Harold and Kumar.
Yeah. Um I'm surprised he like was not like really in it. He was like oh my god, just barely in it.
He was barely in it, and he just
I mean, it
wasn't
was just
even
like there was
great when
no
he was in it.
yeah, it was all right. Like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully he got his bag in that.
Mhm. I'm sure he did, like a little bag.
Hello bag. Poor thing.
I know. I can't believe he took this role is my point. Like it's so
Yeah.
random.
But he just, no offense, just still wasn't that like good. I mean,
He's
maybe
just
he's
not this
just
type
meant
of
for
actor, I feel like.
comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like a basic, like older comedy. And by older, I mean like 2000s.
Yeah. He does comedy really well. We're not going to say that
Yeah, I'm not going to
he
shit on
doesn't.
this man. Respect, whatever. Um, any other thoughts?
I'm sure.
No.
Are you looking up something else?
I'm just like looking at the cast, like looking at things to talk about because I don't know. I just feel like this movie, there's just not that much to say. Like, go see it if you want to see it. It's not going to like blow you out of the water, probably, but it's not horrible. It's just decent.
I would say, and I was thinking about this on the way home, this movie's like the epitome of mid.
Yes, it is. Okay,
If
I'm
you
looking
get
at,
some weed and you smoke this weed, this is mid. You might
yeah,
get a little bit high for sure, but it is mid bad.
yeah. I feel like, okay, this person said it pretty good. Like, they left you waiting for something, and it, like, just never really came. Like, it was just all right. Like, that's all I have to say. This person, like, the second review is 1 star. Worst jump scares, worst ending. Like, just bad. They just don't like it. But then like the third one is 5 stars. Amazing job. I thought this movie will be a spin-off of Truth or Dare, but it is way too far off. One of the best horror films for a while. Like, okay. I mean, I don't believe you, but
We're also not huge horror people unless it's
it's specific
A24 horror.
horror that I fuck with. And this is just not my type, but it is definitely a lot of people's type. It's kind of like Barbarian. Some people loved that, raved about it almost more than this. They raved about it. And I prefer this.
Hmm. I mean, I will say if it's Halloween night, even next year or 5 years from now, and you just have the TV on, you have a
Mhm.
horror movie marathon, this is a fine one to have on. It just
Yeah,
really fits that Halloween category.
for sure. I mean, it's just super basic. Like, not extraordinary, not horrible. Like, I didn't want to leave the theater. I wanted to find out what was going to happen, but it was just okay. Like, for me, really.
What'd you think of the camera tricks? There is some Ari Aster flips.
Yeah. Okay. I did think about that because I feel like maybe one or two camera flips is fine. Feels
There is
like
a
they
lot.
like overdid it a little bit.
She was driving a
Like
lot.
like they knew one camera trick and it was like, let's turn this bitch upside down and show the
Every
world
time
upside
she's
down.
on the road, and she's
Yeah.
gonna be driving a lot
Yeah. And that
in
was
that
just
Kia, that
I
red
just feel
Kia.
like if you're gonna do camera tricks, like do like a few different ones. You don't have to like just know this one camera trick and just keep doing it. But this guy, like, I'm not gonna like hate on him. He's clearly a newer director, and like for only
No,
having 3 movies total, including this one, you still have a lot to learn. I feel like, and you're brand new to the game, so you're trying.
they had some good uh zoom ins when she was feeding Mustache, but I think that's almost a thing right now. And I think like okay, it's not new per se where people really focus on the food they're cooking. They make it look
Mm,
almost aesthetic, but I think it's partially so common right now because of all the food almost videos on like TikTok and shit, the aesthetics, or
that's what you
even
got from
like
that. I
Facebook
felt
videos.
like they were just doing that because they were trying to like foreshadow something is gonna happen to this cat, and that she really cares about this cat. Like,
No, I'm just
mm,
saying why it's almost every movie you see, even Don't Worry, Darling,
mm-hmm,
they're super zoomed in on her like making the steak and shit.
yeah,
It's right now, it's almost trendy director wise to really watch someone cook something really aesthetically.
yeah,
And she wasn't cooking, but her food was her cat food was always a
yeah,
nice close up.
yeah. I honestly really just think it's like a foreshadow, in my opinion. I don't think it was like anything
No, I know.
crazy.
I'm just
Like,
saying
don't
from
worry,
a
darling.
camera trick angle, not like a plot line angle.
Yeah, it was all right.
That is a sweet
I thought
cat
it was
though.
funny because I just kept thinking every time she was feeding her cat, just dump the can out. Why are you like scraping it with
Using
a
that
fork?
fork.
Like a fork that you probably use.
She's saying that because we give our cats wet food and we just
Plop it right in the
top,
bowl.
tap, 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 and that shit plops right in.
And they eat it up just the same.
Just the same. And it gets all the freaky juice that's all around it,
Yep.
the
It's
gravy.
just yeah, and then there's no food like left in the can, like because it just pops right out. Like
Yeah.
if you start mixing around the can, like the food is gonna be stuck to the can, and then it's gonna like stink up your trash can. Like it's just gonna be gross.
Mm-hmm.
Well, whatever. I'm not gonna like dig into that because obviously it was just. I mean, who cares? You know, like who cares? That's like so nitpicky. If I'm really gonna like.
It's weird because the movie wasn't great, but it does feel like most of our critiques are pretty nitpicky and they're almost personal beefs.
I mean, I just didn't like care for. the whole story just didn't blow me away. Like I wish it did. It
It was
just
flat. It
didn't.
was just a pretty, I'm not gonna say one note per se, but it wasn't
It
a
kind of
complex
was.
story. It wasn't like
It's not
how,
a thinker at all. It's
yeah,
not
you're not
psychological
gonna
like
watch it and
that.
think, how did they write this? Who came up with this? Because I need
Right.
to know right now.
It felt very like Ring
It
era.
gave the ring to me too.
Yeah.
The 4 days, 7 days, your
Yeah.
time's coming.
It was like a mix of just movies like that, and that's okay.
It is okay. It's a Halloween movie, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
it's just a basic horror movie,
Yeah, we
and
can't
it
rate
can be
it
fun.
with other Oscar movies. It's just not in the same category.
It's just not, unfortunately. But
But I still have to shit on it a bit because you can't like I can still leave that theater. I could have left and said, "Whoa, that was way better than I fucking
that
expected."
really shocked me. That really made me
And it was exactly what I expected, to be honest.
exactly
Yeah,
to a T.
that's actually all I have to say. We
Yeah.
can do that final review if our opinions have changed.
Honestly, I think my opinion's the same. I would say a 4 to 5 out of 10.
I'd say a five, a still, and I'd give it on a percentage. I'd give it a 62.
I was gonna say like 56, and I don't know why that goes up on a percentage level.
Would you change it if we're talking about just Halloween shitty horror movie category?
Maybe 60%. But like if we're talking about every movie ever made,
Well,
like
duh.
30%. But, I'm not
But
going to
if
be too
I'm
harsh.
comparing it to other campy almost horror movies,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Better than like Friday the 13th or something that everybody loves. No offense.
No offense, I guess. I don't think I've even seen it.
I don't really think I have either, to be honest, but it's just not my type. I'm just not into that. Wish I
Yeah.
was, because people
Honestly,
eat that up.
we're not the people to be gassing this movie up.
Yeah. So if you're into this type of movie
You're
that
gonna
we're
have a
describing,
different opinion, and that's
you
okay.
might really like it, and you should probably run to the theaters now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, go. Go see it tonight.
Yeah, for sure, because you'll love it.
Yeah, especially if you're in a very Halloween
And
mood
if
right
you
now.
loved Barbarian, like all these people,
Go.
run.
Go. I mean, don't look back. Don't
Yeah,
look back.
you will love it for sure.
All right. That's it.
All right. See you next time.